I'm Cara Carlton, and I've been in Coeur d'Alene about 2.5 years. Moved here from Colorado, and am now having the honor to run the Community Roots programs and move it forward through the future in this town.
My name's Corinne Kralkamp, and I've been in Coeur d'Alene for 12 years. Moved here from Southern Idaho, and I was the founder of the Community Roots program, and I'm passing it along to these fine women.
My name's Susan Sully. I'm actually was born and raised in Coeur d'Alene. Lived here now about 47 years. My family basically homesteaded in the Dalton Gardens area, and I am the lead farmer at Community Roots Garden.
I'm happy to be living in Coeur d'Alene. Moved here from a larger community, and I like the small town feel and the challenges and evolution that poses are a positive thing and a way to develop. As others have gone before, we get to look at their positives and their negatives and choose our path and move it forward.
Well, I'm an Idaho girl, and I'm from southern Idaho, where it's desert, and moved to North Idaho because it was like a different country from southern Idaho, and water and mountains and trees, very much eye candy for me, and to experience that was why I moved here. It's the nature, and it's Idaho is a interesting place, and it's one that is really dear to my heart. Coeur d'Alene in particular is unique in that it's close to a big city or a bigger city, but it still has that small town rural feel, which is I think what attracts people here and attracted me here.
And like I said before, I was born and raised here in Coeur d'Alene. I've been to a lot of different places, a lot of different communities, and I would never leave here. It's home, and to me it's just such a family-oriented community, and that's why I stay.
So the Community Roots program for me was about looking at food as a tool, as a common ground between lots of different people from different backgrounds, different age groups, different income levels, and it was a tool to bridge the gap in conversation and in values. And so Community Roots, and it's also about hands-on work and how the importance of hands-on work and in satisfaction in one's life. So that was really where Community Roots was born, and it continues to be, and that's why I'm here.
And I'm continuing the program forward and holding all the same values and goals and the mission that Corinne created, because they're what I believe in as well. And this program is such a great tool, as Corinne said, to kind of have a link between so many different people and an easy bonding experience out there, and it's just very real to dig in the dirt and talk with the person next to you and have a conversation about whatever that leads to, and to be able to do that, meet different people in the process, meet different people from different backgrounds, and none of that matters, yet it all enhances what you're doing out there in the first place. So I think a lot of times we do segregate ourselves in our comfortable little spaces, and exposing ourselves to people in different social areas and different economic areas and is a challenge, and it's interesting to put yourself in that place and see what happens. Being able to use this tool also as leadership in this community and educating this community and helping it move forward, I think is a great development that's kind of come out of that I didn't I didn't really see until I really got into the program, and how you can just take this, move it forward, people follow, and the energy just starts building and building and building, and you kind of go, sit back and go, wow. It's this simple idea of growing food, providing for yourself, gaining the confidence to do so, and that just creates this huge ball of energy that's just kind of moving forward here and just gaining momentum. So that's been exciting about the program.
My passion's always been farming. I grew up in a farming community. All my family was just, into preserving and putting up their own food. And food, I think, is just, one of the things that people just kind of take for granted. You can go to the grocery store, you can get a box of food, you can, whip it up for your family, and it's not, it's processed and it's not good, and I want to educate people about, growing their own food and being able to preserve that themselves and feeding that to their families. And that's why Community Brits has really been important to me, is teaching families and providing good quality, healthy food to them.
I was working for the government, and I was doing a lot of in your office, at your desk, helping people. And I felt that there was, I needed to balance my life with some hands-on work and face-to-face, real, tangible service. And so a friend and I were brainstorming one night and thought, well, there's a lot of food going to waste out there. How about we connect the dots and help get the surplus food coming from the farmers markets, coming from backyard gardens, coming from fruit trees where it's just dropping, and move that and get that to people who need it. And just think of all the wonderful people we would meet along the way. And that's kind of where it started, and we just rode our bikes to the farmers market, and then things just started moving from there.
The local food share has been in Coeur d'Alene since 2007, and to date has donated over 29,000 pounds of produce in Kootenai County to the different food assistance facilities. And then in 2010, the Roots CSA farm, a community-supported agriculture farm, was developed to address the need for organic, pesticide-free produce to be available to people of all income levels, not necessarily on an emergency need basis like the shelters are serving and the food banks are serving. So the CSA farm has doubled in size each year since it began, whether that be in production or shareholders. And last year alone, off a little more than 1 acre, we produced over 4,000 pounds of food for 30 families in the area.
The interest in the community is huge now. People are just really taking notice, and thanks to these ladies, really got the word out here. And I think it's just going to grow in leaps and bounds, and I see it in the next couple of years. People becoming more interested. Mm-hmm. Hopefully we can keep up with the demand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'd really love to see it. I'd love to see it get out there more, get people more involved, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Certainly growing our shareholder base, and our education program in the schools has grown, and our locations have grown, and so that can just keep expanding, and we seem to always have a waiting list, so that tells us that the need here and the energy here for it is always going to be exponential.
As far as challenges and opportunities in Coeur d'Alene, there's a lot of opportunity, and that's one of the reasons why I like Idaho so much, is because it's kind of like, it's just getting ready for expansion on all of these great new innovative ideas, and that's happening all around the country. But Idaho's just getting there, and so it's an exciting time. Some of the struggles that I see is the willingness for open-mindedness and thinking outside the box, especially when it comes to policy and zoning and all of some of the structure that we've built for ourselves for good reason, but might not be, it might be hindering us right now in our ability to move forward in progressive, innovative ways. And I see that as a call to leadership and just consciousness for Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, I agree. I think, people's awareness and ability to participate or realize they can participate might be a challenge here. And I think it's easy, again, for people to stay in their comfort zone and always do what they've always done. And I think there's a lot of great new ideas coming into this town. And I hear the pattern of, well, if Coeur d'Alene could ever get there, if Coeur d'Alene could ever, be like these other cities, when if you look around, there's these amazing projects developing and moving this area forward that people may not even be recognizing, or maybe they know about them, they just aren't realizing we're getting there, we're moving there. So to kind of move out of that mindset of we're never going to get there to look at all these things that are getting us there. To me, that's been kind of as an outsider and a newer person in the area realizing that shift and all these cool things that even I've had to look for and start to recognize and move forward. And that's the exciting part. As you said, it's kind of on that cusp and moving forward just initially, and it's an honor. It's pretty cool to be at the beginning forces of that and get to move this forward. And I was raised to grab stuff and go with it and talk about it and then move forward and do it. And so there's a lot of people around us that are doing that, and to me that's just kind of comfortable, and I'm at home with that, and so it's a good fit. The community's a good fit for that.
I agree with Cara. I mean, there's one of our challenges in this area, I think, is growth. We've got so much growth in this area in such a small amount of time that people are, there's all these rules and regulations. I mean, things aren't getting done necessarily as efficiently as they could be. Growth is definitely, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. We can move forward. We just need to catch up. I think it's hard in this area for people to realize we have to kind of catch up with the times and still keep this town a really small, quaint